Check, 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 check. Good morning, guys. Season stream coming here for you today. We got Ryan and myself. We're talking about December trading. It's the slowest month of the year. A little bit on crypto, a little bit on the meme coins as well. So share this around. Get the stream started in 5 minutes. Again, guys, starting in 2 minutes, we're talking about December, slowness of December, hanging out with your friends and family over the holidays, and what's going on with the crypto market? Share it around. All right, guys, welcome. And little bit of a casual stream for you here today. We have Ryan coming, and Emma and John are actually still traveling. They're checking out Europe currently. They're in Cyprus doing some big boss sort of stuff over there. So we're missing Emma here today. She's too busy. Guys, let me adjust this microphone here a little bit more. The big news is crypto, meme coins. Things are going up. Today, though, however, and yesterday, we seen a pullback, and I made a little joke on Twitter there. Are we going to see 100K before December? And that was at 99.5, and it looks like it dumped immediately off of that. Ryan, what do you think? Do you think we're actually going to hit the 100K there marker?
Yeah, I mean, by the end of December, what's the time frame?
By December 1st.
Yeah, I think we'll hit it in the next 48 hours.
48 hours, you think it's going to rally up? This is not looking good, honestly. I'll tell you that from my point of view, guys. On the daily, we're seeing a really strong bearish candle. That looks bad but you know what? We've been calling this to see a pullback off the 100K. There's still a gap. If you're looking at the futures space, there's a gap way down here at 77K. Guys, there's a really good chance that we could come back down that way. Ryan thinks that we're going to come back up, hit that 100K. Either way, we don't think the market cycle's over yet. We do believe that this is the time that makes the most sense for a pullback. And we're going into the holiday season, so things might be a little bit slower. And then hopefully when Trump is inaugurated in January, I believe, Ryan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that might be another catalyst for another big push before we see kind of things topping out right around the mid $100,000. That's what we're looking at for Bitcoin currently, but right now it's not a great space. I'm sure every single meme coin, you know, if we wanted to go to Pepe or whatever we wanted to do here, is getting a pullback. What's another one there? Shiba, right? And there's some meme coins that's not even too bad. There's some meme coins that, you know, they're brand new and they're probably just going straight to zero because everyone's been on the meme coin cycle lately. Things like Doge, though, there is some decent news coming around the Doge space in terms of Elon Musk offering X payments. And I believe everyone's hyped about XRP on X payments being the thing that they're going to be using. Now, we're not sure with that yet. We don't know any of the news for sure. It's just kind of rumors. And any rumor can cause whatever the hell you want to call this in the crypto space. Just a simple rumor can do that. So let's jump over to more a traditional market. The NASDAQ, strong month so far. Weekly, however, closed. 2 weeks ago they closed somewhat bearishly, but they did regain it again. So we are showing strong signs of continuation upside across the market overall in the NASDAQ. Crypto as well, strong. Jumped to the S&P really quick. Perfectly fine so far, I think, in my opinion. If we get that weekly close up here, that'd be really, really strong for more continuation upside. There's no major reasons to be out in terms of the markets, in terms of the charts right now. Everything looks perfectly fine, except maybe gold, not so much. We did say that there'd probably be another pullback off of a rebound here the other week, just because of that massive crash that we had seen there. Guys, we need to watch out for the monthly levels to be touching around here, maybe, because that's the next level down on the monthly. But we did see a strong gain off of that. So the next buy opportunity might be 25.60 here. Guys, post your questions in the comments section there below. Ryan and I are going to be trying to read along. I am seeing really, really long messages. Emma is the expert on reading. So we're gonna try to pick them up. Some exciting news coming in the new year, guys. We have, first of all, in December, we're gonna do a little bit of the magic of December sort of style. All of the spaces are going to be, little bit of magic style. How much money can we be making trading? We're going to do some hypnosis. We're going to talk about the holidays and what you should be doing over the holidays. After that, coming into the new year, we're going to be doing a daily stream. Exciting stuff. Every single day at this time, we're going to be doing a different sort of stream. I'm going to have different guest speakers coming on, and we're going to be talking about all of the different markets, crypto, traditionals, Forex, all of that jazz. We'll be jumping around every single thing. So we're going to still have Ryan on sometimes here. I don't think Ryan, I'm not sure you're going to want to be doing the full week every 5 days a week, but what do you think you want to do there?
I'll do at least. I'll do as many as I can. It just depends on from a financial standpoint. You know, the beginning of the month is busier, so on. So I'll hit at least 3 days a week at a minimum with you.
Yeah, totally. So Ryan will still be around, guys. Post in the comments what you want to be seeing on those daily streams, because it'll be every day there'll be something going on. So it'll be an update of the market and keeping you guys in the loop as fast as possible. So let's get some questions here. Ryan, did you see anything that's been popping up?
Let's see.
That have been good at paying attention.
Yeah. What are the underlying market structures and dynamics that drive price action? That's a good one for you.
The underlying what now?
Underlying market structures and dynamics that drive price action. Basically, I think they're asking economically what drives price action.
Yeah, well, of course, it's going to be, if you're talking long term, it's going to be the fundamentals, right? And whatever is backing people's, first of all, if it's going to be different for each asset. Obviously, actually, is how I should start this. Is in the stock market, NASDAQ included indices, it's going to be completely dependent on the performance of the company and the speculation of the clients for that company, right? That's going to be the long-term thing that's going to actually cause it to go up, basically. Is it going to cause go up or down, right? That's all you're going to need for the indices in the stock market. In terms of where it's actually buying and selling, it's going to be previous areas that had already bought and sold, right? If you're just looking at the chart, the only thing that you can look at is past data. So there's no predictive movements based off of what's going to happen in the future. So all you can look at is, okay, where were people holding the line before? And you can react based off of those, right? So there are algorithms in place. There is no one major algorithm, but people are running bots all the time, and they are predictive, right? You can follow them that way. In terms of things like, whether you should be in gold, crypto, or, bonds, that's going to be a little bit more different. If they're going to be going up and down, it's going to be really based off of global economies. Currently, if the global economy is doing well, gold might be starting to dip down. You can see people are more risk adverse, very, very less risk adverse right now, because people are trading coins that are named after frogs and raccoons and squirrels, right? So they do nothing. Ryan, what's your take on that? Have you dabbled on any meme coins yet?
Here and there, like I had talked about, or I have talked about, my strategy has changed somewhat, because I used to trade or like to trade Bitcoin, scalp it, and so on. But I think that's more of a long-term play. And I think that people will start to use the smaller, the altcoins, the memes, whatever you want to refer to them as. They'll use those as more of the tradable instruments, and they'll park profits into Bitcoin and so on. That's my theory with it. But I've dabbled a little bit, not with much. I mean, I'll put like a very small amount, because basically, if I'm going to do that, and I would recommend to others, if they do that, you have to just assume it's going to go to zero. So you have to be willing to put money there that you could literally light on fire and not need,
Yeah, that's my experience with the meme coins so far. Is what you want to do is throw the money in. Once you double your money, or make a big chunk, take out twice what your initial investment was, and then just let the rest run, right? Because that way you took a profit. You don't care if it goes to zero, but the reality is it's a one bet trade. You don't add to it. You just put it down, right? And if it goes to zero, it goes to zero, which is probably going to happen. I
think that's the smartest way to do it, actually. Like, no one ever feels bad about taking a profit. So if you're taking double out, You don't have that FOMO either, because if it happens to go, skyrocket, you still have money in it.
Yeah.
You have your winnings in it. So I think that's a really
It cut out there at the very end. Really good strategy, I think I heard.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a very good strategy.
Okay, so here, let's get into a little bit of December questions here. The topic today is trading through December. And guys, I got to warn you, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough waters coming the next few weeks. Even the first week of January, there's a bit of a rollover. Now, if we look at the calendar, should I pull up a calendar? Actually, let's just look at the chart and see if we can find anything, because I'm just curious, honestly. Might as well just look at the chart. What happened? And I'm going to look at the NASDAQ actually of last year and see if anything different happened. I'm just going to look, just curiosity, because I honestly don't even know. Right in December. Yeah. So I'm not gonna go on anything too low. Actually, you know what? If we drop down to the 5 minute, you'd probably see much less volume. But it looks pretty normal in terms of just what it's in terms of just the candles looking back. But you will notice one thing. What happened here? That is a massive gap, right? And there's a little bit more wicks, right? You can see wicks on either side, right? And if we go back to Bitcoin, maybe let's look at Bitcoin last year even, and just see what kind of happens around Christmas time. Now, you guys do have a couple weeks left until things do get bad in terms of in terms of volume and volatility and whatnot. It is going to be a market that is slower moving, so you're not going to be able to catch as many pips as you'd like, right? But let's look at December. December on Bitcoin had a nice rally, which we might see again going into December. But then once again, look at this. Bitcoin is the more obvious player here, right? Where it didn't do anything for a month, right? It didn't do anything for a month, right? And that might be a similar case here, where we had a really strong rally going into from November and right into basically the end of November. Now it's the same sort of thing that just happened with the Trump election and everything like this, right? And then December might just be a flat month. So you guys might just be ranging, sitting and doing nothing for a month. And I know that's a long time for crypto traders because they're not used to waiting for any amount of time. And then come January, there might even be a sell-off, right? So we're not sure. But then the reality is, look at this. Anything could happen in the crypto market, right? So guys, actually, I think I got that too low. There you go. You can see it now. Guys, the point is, coming into December, we're going to have less volume. Trades are going to be harder. Bank hours are closing for holidays. And you could see that when we were actually on the NASDAQ. You've seen that massive gap on the 23rd, I believe it was. And that's probably what's going to happen again, is there's going to be a massive gap over the Christmas break, something like this, right? I think that was the 23rd. Yeah. December. No. That's actually, I'm getting confused here. These are just gaps on the weekly open, aren't they? I got that on the wrong time frame. There's a gap there. Anyways, guys, let's close that off. So the question is, do markets work accordingly to different strategies throughout the year? Now, I'd say a style more similar to Ryan's, where he likes to range trade and just kind of sit. We just seen that on Bitcoin last year, for example. That might be better through December. Trending markets tend to not be as prevalent in December. Trending markets are during the rest of the year. They'll either be going up and down, but when volatility is low, things tend to just be flat. And if there's a major buyer that comes into the space, buys it up, people tend to just buy it back down because they want to keep it flat until markets are reopened on what's the date going to be this year. I think, do you happen to know? I think we'll be coming back on the 6th, I believe, right?
I think I thought it was let me look. Yeah. Well, 2nd.
The 2nd. Yeah, but then Thursday, Friday, you think people are really going to be trading those days?
Oh, yeah. No, I think, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think the year actually, in terms of like more normalcy, will start on the 6th for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you recall last year in the prop firm space? Let's get into this question here. The prop firm space, what happened over the holidays?
Is that a question for me, or are you just
Yeah,
asking?
just do you remember the volatility and how slow things were? I remember the
Oh
time
yeah,
it was shut
I
down for
mean,
3 weeks.
after the second week of December, it pretty much is.
Yeah.
Uh, there's nothing going on. I mean, it's very similar to like kind of midsummer ish. Usually, people are just on vacation. They want to spend time with their family. The last thing on their mind is trading and things like that, and that's where the retraction of volume comes into play, obviously. And I would definitely be cautioning scalp traders or ultra short term traders to be trading when there's minimal volume or when the volume is so much lower, because it's so easy to sway things.
Yeah.
Spreads will widen, the liquidity dries up a little bit. It's just not a good environment for things. So, if anything, I wouldn't say take the whole month off, but if anything, to rejuvenate and get ready for the next year,
Yeah.
positive mindset, I would definitely consider if I was someone taking the last 2 weeks of the year off. I don't think you're going to be mad that you did that.
Yeah. It's not the time to be rushing for those profits at the end of the year. Guys, we have realistically, I think things will be closed December 20th. So you have a few weeks actually. After the 21st, I think everyone's going to be at home with their. I'm actually going to be at home with my family. I'm leaving the office here go for a couple weeks, so I'll be on my laptop. But there's no chance I'm going to be trading. And I advise you guys, because as Ryan said, the spreads are going to be way wider because there's less volume coming in. There's going to be slippage. I can guarantee for sure.
Oh yeah,
Should we
yeah.
avoid scalping?
It's not a good environment to
Yeah,
trade. The playing field is stacked against you the last 2 weeks of the year, and so it's, I think it's the time to rejuvenate the mind and things. I would load up on accounts and get yourself all prepared and everything for the new year. But I just don't know that I would take a trade unless you have like ultra conviction behind that trade. I would not be messing around with it too much.
yeah, that is a decent idea to just kind of save some money away and load up some accounts and be prepared for January 6th or whatever it is. How would you go about, as you said, what did you say here? Conserve your mind or something, or what was the
Rejuvenate.
rejuvenate? Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you rejuvenate over the holidays so that you could come back to the market stronger?
Yeah. So I mean, I think that we talk about during the day going to the gym or walking away for an hour. I mean, if you're really going to get your mindset clear, this is what I would do the last 2 weeks of the year. I think the third week, meaning the week where there's actually like Christmas and like the actual holiday, I would just step away. I would not look at anything market related. I wouldn't read anything market related. I might glance at it at the end of the day to see what things did, but I would not put any meaningful effort into trying to become a better trader or anything. I would spend time with family. I would journal and write down my list of goals and things that I want to accomplish for the new year. The fourth week, the last week of light volume, I would load up on accounts. I'd use this time to the fourth week to look at what prop firms I want to trade with, find the strongest firms. I'd get accounts at each of them. I'd become familiar with the layout of their platform.
Yeah,
Navigate around. I think that's a big thing that people undercut. They'll buy an account because they hear this firm is really good, but they're not familiar with the platform or anything. They
totally.
rush it. Where you actually have the opportunity now to take 5-6 days, become really familiar with it, and also do your due diligence. Don't just go buy an account because some firm's offering a 50% discount. That's the definition of insanity. And
Totally.
it's hard to feel bad for a trader when they don't get a payout when they're going to firms that are offering these stupid discounts. Focus on the firms that have a solid track record and have a good, solid, positive brand like Maven. And and then just get comfortable with those firms. It's similar to strategy. Like, don't have 10 strategies. Have one or two strategies that you focus on and become great at.
Totally. And that being said, strategies that actually work in December. I think somebody, Simon FX here, said swing trading is a good option for December, and I would absolutely 100% agree with that.
Mhm.
Crypto is a perfect option because markets are open always. There's no bank hours, right? So you're not getting this crazy slippage and spreads widening. You still need to make sure that the spreads might be wider on your exchange because fewer traders might be on. But the reality is, you can just place that trade, let it sit until it's filled. It'll get filled over the holidays at some point. Some degenerate's going to be in there gambling, and then it's going to fill up your orders, and then you're good to go. You can just wait and sit back and look for that 80K level you're looking for, or whatever it is with Bitcoin, right? And just wait over the holidays, right?
Yeah, you'll be waiting forever for that.
For 80K,
Yeah, I'm just
that's
kidding.
where the gap is. 80, 77, 80,
I
right?
would
So
tell someone though, if you're going to swing trade, I agree. I think scalping is not a good strategy during this time. I think swing trading would be the only thing you'd
yeah,
want to. But I would tell anyone doing that, if you're going to use a stop loss, to make sure you widen it a little bit, because things are going to be more choppy. They're going to be more volatile, and it has a much better chance of getting triggered if it's a tight stop loss. So you might want to just widen it a little bit if you're going to do it.
we got a funny one here from Bilala. Santa can fly around the world in one night. Why can't the markets move in December? Well, they definitely can. They can go all the way from 0 to 100 overnight as well. You're going to see that with crypto. I'm sure there's going to be some crazy antics going on.
Well, you have to remember, everyone's at holiday dinner. The big topic at the table this year is going to be Bitcoin, right? Everyone's going to want to know about crypto. I've had so many people in my life that I don't even talk to for years messaging me, asking me about crypto and things. So get prepared for that. And the volume, I wouldn't be surprised if it really was spiked up at the beginning of January, and then it goes back to more normal levels. I mean,
Yeah.
the worst thing you can do is invest in something that you don't understand, and people will rush and trigger that. So that'll be an artificial inflation of it.
So this will be a nice question here. How do the central bank meetings and interest rate decisions affect December markets? No different. No different in December. Now, the topic about December is important because of volume gets lowered. People are on holiday breaks. They do less things. But the reality is, when you're talking fundamentals and we're talking swing trading, long-term positions, and what you actually want to invest in over the long period of time, kind of asset management, is all the exact same thing. Right, Ryan? Do you have anything to add there?
Nope. I would just say that, on a day where the Fed comes out with a statement, or they're adjusting rates or something, whatever economic news you want to even talk about, not even just central bank policy, interest rate cutting and things. It's just going to be probably less volatile than it normally would be. On the flip side, it could be way more because there's lighter volume. So, like I said, it's easier to sway. So I don't think it has a material impact, unless you're like, just trading on a given day. But I think everything kind of works the same. It's just, there's certain points of the year. This happens to be one where there's a lot lighter volume, which means kind of things can go either way. It's just, there's just an unknown, and the market doesn't like unknowns.
So here's a hilarious question, and funny enough, it's not that hilarious once I give you an answer here. Do you think Thanksgiving will be a positive catalyst for Bitcoin? Now, Ryan, why is the American Thanksgiving going to do anything for a global asset?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I think it's going to spread. I mean, think about everybody meeting on one day, and then a topic coming up that half of the people are just not familiar with, and then multiply that times however many households there are that are celebrating Thanksgiving. That's a lot. So I mean, there is a domino effect, but I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, uh, there's a population of 330 million people in America. There's over 8 billion people in the world. I mean, it's
Exactly.
not really that material of an impact if you think about it. Like, in terms of people, there, it's just really not. I
Yeah.
don't think it would have a material impact on
It,
Bitcoin at all.
it is the most ridiculous thing to believe that a holiday or a time of year will cause the markets to change direction,
Yeah,
right?
no.
It can cause it to be more volatile because of the lack of liquidity. But I remember, I don't know if you recall this, Ryan, back in the end of 2017, when the markets and Bitcoin started crashing. It was the very top of the cycle. And everyone said, everyone's just selling to buy Christmas presents for the
Yeah.
American Christmas, right?
Yeah.
It is a global asset. And the American New Year's that everyone wanted to buy Christmas presents for, they needed to sell their millions of dollars so that they could buy, little toys for their children, right? It was a theory that was passed around and everyone believed. And then they all got shook and wrecked the reality. And I believed it. I remember believing it too, funny enough.
Yeah, I didn't get. I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world, but I did get caught up in a little bit as well. I mean, that's when the media and so on is good at sucking people in when it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's no way that any holiday in any country, I don't care where it's at, is going to materially have an impact on it. There's no way.
The only thing that it can do is cause closures of banks, which can lower the liquidity in the market and increase the volatility. But it will not change what people believe about an asset. Okay.
Yeah. No.
How do we create a successful trading plan during December? So I think Ryan kind of already touched on this, to prepare yourself for the following year. I think December is the month where you do reviews of the things that you had learned. You do reviews for future projections. You do reviews for which prop firms you want to be in on. And you spend the next 2 weeks practicing and making sure you've got your strategy locked in. And then you take a break and you go zen. You go zen and you just plan everything out, because once December 20th comes along, you're done. You got 3 weeks off. You're not allowed to trade. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you're going to do it anyways. And then you're going to blow your account. And then
I think that, you guys have to, the end of December is historically always been a time of reflection. And people always think about that reflection in terms of their personal environment, their family, what they've been through, this and that. Like I've always talked about in my life, like business and personal is the same. I commingle them intentionally. It works for me. If you're going to reflect on your personal life, why wouldn't you want to reflect on your business life and reallocate some time to think about that and do some planning and so on? I think that's a super healthy thing, because that definitely has an impact on you personally as well. So I would just use, like Chris just said, or Hunter just said, the last couple of weeks, I would use it as like a point of reflection and, clearing your mind, some zen. I think that's a great term. And maybe try to pick up or kind of structure your day a little more as a trader for the new year, meaning carve out some time for maybe health or reading, watching content, that kind of thing. I think that's really smart things to do.
The number one thing that helped me with trading was getting my health and my general wellness better, and doing nothing to do with trading, funny enough. So making sure I have a fitness plan that's proper. That is, also not eating processed foods. Processed foods make me so tired in the morning. I can't think properly, right? The next day, right? Funny enough, doing meditation and being around the right people, right? Having the right energy around it. Funny enough, it allows me to sit there, look at the chart and not panic, which is an interesting take, right? To just have throughout the week, the right people in your life that don't cause you stress, and the right sort of actions in your life that don't cause you stress, right? Then you can sit there in peace. And I think that's the importance of December, is to find those ways that you can sit with peace so that you can come into January and not panic when the market's going against you. Are there any specific currency pairs that will be more volatile or profitable over the next year? Oh, Ryan, you know which one this is going to be, eh? Which currency do you want?
I think that anyone who's going to argue that crypto is not going to be the most volatile thing over the next year is, I don't know. You'd have to give me a really good argument. I think the next in line to that's probably gold, I would say, given what's going on, some of the unknowns, giving, the economic landscape, inflation, so on. And then, I think everything else kind of remains same volatility levels as they normally. I don't think that there's anything major. I think that, you know, as it relates to like a crypto, it depends on what crypto you're buying. I think there's definitely some massive volatility in some of the smaller coins. I think Bitcoin over the next few years, you'll see it become more of a respectable or respected asset class where it hasn't been in the past. And that will begin to minimize all this crazy jerking around and volatility that you see sometimes daily. I would look at for that to happen when it becomes more like 1/3 to half of the same market cap as gold, about half of what gold's market cap is. Um, then it becomes kind of a more of a player, I think, in the market. But yeah, I think crypto for sure is the answer to that question.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end it off here with one last question here. How can traders adapt to the changing market conditions in December? And I'm going to answer this. I'll give Ryan's take on it as well. You can use December as a really good way to view various market conditions as a whole month, right? Because the reality is December is a ranging sort of market generally. It goes sideways and you need to adapt knowing that you're going to go into December that's most likely going to be a ranging flat market, okay? Mm-hmm. And this forces you to be able to either pick up a trade pattern that works in those markets or forces you to stop trading, right? And this is the most important thing. Well, not the most important, but one of the most important things to not blow your account long term is there's various things that the market can do. It can either range or it can trend, right? And you're either a range or a trend trader usually. I'm a trend trader who can range trade a little bit, right? I don't like it as much. Ryan's a range trader, right? So when you need to be able to learn how to recognize when it's not in your favor, right? I don't like trading when it's ranging. So I probably won't trade in December, right? Knowing that. But you can start to pick up ways to figure out if it's going to range, right? So start looking at the markets over the next couple of weeks and see how they're reacting, knowing that it's going to range probably, and seeing if there's any indication that you can figure out that's going to help you determine if it's going to range so that you can get out of the markets faster, that you don't blow your account. Ryan, what's your take?
If someone was like, you have to trade, you know, at least one day the last 2 weeks, I would wait on a day where there's some type of like, I don't know, significant type of news economically, not meaning like jobs report or something like that. I mean like something happening around the world, something that, in other words, it's going to make Bitcoin just go crazy. And if that happens, then I would take an hour, maybe I take 2 hours this time, and I'd watch where the ceiling is and I watch where the floor is on that range. And if it's going to do that same thing for, you know, like Hunter said, it's going to move kind of sideways. But if you can get a volatile asset class that's moving sideways, meaning it's just bumping back and forth between this range for the whole day, that'd be where I would go. So yeah. I would wait till something is going to create something that creates some type of uneasiness in the market, and then I would watch it for an hour or two and see if you can kind of capture where the ceiling or the floor would be, and then just, you know, I dabble into it. Normally, I would allocate like 2/3 of something into a trade. I'd keep a third on the side to add to it. I maybe would take like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of what I would normally do and start a position and see what it looks like. But only if I have a clear range. If I don't have a clear range, you guys, that's the thing about me. I don't do it. If I don't have great conviction and I can see a trend of a certain range over a period of time, I just don't do it. I could go days without trading. It doesn't bother me. You have to get to that point. But yeah, that's what I would do if I was like forced in December.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's the stream here today. I'm going to wrap it up with that. Unfortunately, we're not going to, let me clear that off. Unfortunately, we're not going to do any giveaway here today. We don't have Emma on here, and I'm not sure how she's going to pick it. So, going into December, we got some exciting streams for you, all revolving around the magic of the holidays. And then in the new year, we're going to be doing a daily stream right at this time. So send us your ideas that you want to see on those daily streams so we can start creating some content and really getting you guys informed every single day. We do this every Tuesday at 5:30 UTC currently. That's 5:30 p.m. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week.